Welcome to the Jersey Signal podcast. My name is Christopher Lotito, and this is episode 3, What OPRA is and how public records are supposed to work in New Jersey. Up to this point, we've talked about power in New Jersey and why so much of it happens out of public view. Today, we begin a short series of episodes to teach you about the public's right to see government records, who can ask for them, what counts as a record, and how the process is supposed to work. Let's start with a basic question. What is OPRA? OPRA, or OPRA, stands for the Open Public Records Act. It's a New Jersey state law that defines the public's right to access government records. It replaced an older right to know law back in 2002. The whole idea behind OPRA is simple. Government records are public unless a specific law says they aren't. But to really understand what that means, we need to break it down. First, who can file an OPRA request? Anyone. You don't have to be a journalist, a lawyer, a resident of New Jersey, or even give your name. Second, what is a government record? OPRA defines a government record very broadly. It includes traditional documents like paper files, but also electronically stored information like emails, text messages, photos, databases, maps, and recorded audio. If something was created or kept by a public agency during official business and it's kept on file, that's usually a government record. Third, how do you actually request a record? To invoke OPRA, you must submit a written request. That can be on an agency's official form or just in a letter or email that says you're requesting the record under OPRA. The request has to identify the specific record you want, not just a general question like, tell me what's going on with my town's budget. You need to describe the document clearly enough that someone can find it. Once you submit that written request to the agency that actually holds the record, OPRA gives that agency a deadline to respond, usually within 7 business days. The agency can either release the record as requested, deny the request with a legal reason, or, in limited cases, ask for more time if the request is unusually complex. On paper, this sounds straightforward, but it's important to understand that OPRA doesn't guarantee immediate access to every record. It sets up a process with rules, rights, and limitations. It also defines a series of exemptions, specific categories of information that may be withheld for legitimate reasons, like privacy or security. There are many exemptions in the law. One key thing to remember is this. OPRA doesn't automatically show you what you want. It gives you a right to ask for it and requires the agency to respond according to rules. That's why the next episodes will focus on what happens after you make a request, including how responses are handled and what recourse you have if a request is denied. Understanding OPRA is essential because it's the baseline for transparency in New Jersey government, even though in practice it often doesn't work the way the law intends. In the next episode, we'll talk about the step-by-step process of submitting a request, including how to draft it, where to send it, and what common pitfalls to avoid. If you want deeper reporting, documents, and step-by-step examples, subscribe to the Jersey Signal Project on Substack. Thanks for listening and stay tuned. The signal is only getting stronger.